It's been a long time coming, but I know, change has gotta come.
Hey there, basket makers. Welcome back to our channel, For Every Reason with Kim and Lee. I'm Kim.
I guess that makes me Lee. What's happening?
Today we're diving into a topic that's crucial for all our basket makers out there, and that's safety. Whether you're a seasoned seller or you're just starting out, it's essential to prioritize safety while selling your products on the streets. So while I was at work, I was scrolling on TikTok. Don't judge me. And I came across a video where a woman was selling baskets in her front yard, and unfortunately, she was robbed of her baskets. Let's take a look at that video right now.
This here is that's my sample right there.
As much as we love spreading joy with our beautiful gift baskets, we need to make sure that we're keeping ourselves safe in the process. So in this video, we're going to share some practical tips on how to remain safe while you're selling your baskets. Let's jump right in. Tip number 1, choose your location wisely.
Yeah, you got to make sure that when you're out, that you're in a safe location, well-lit location, busy location. You don't want to be isolated. And as much as possible, don't be alone.
Tip number 2, stay alert and stay aware of your surroundings.
Yeah, it's going to be busy. Hopefully, when you're out selling, you'll have a lot of people around you. So you got to be aware of your surroundings. Unfortunately, it's 2024. There's a lot of things going on in our world. We're out here trying to make money, but you do want to be safe. Just my advice is, if you can't have somebody out there with you, make sure that happens.
Tip number 3, secure your cash and your valuables.
Again, you're going to be exchanging money. So you want to make sure that you get to a plan to drop your money. What I mean by that, if you get a certain amount of money, lock it in your car or your truck, wherever you're going to be having out there as a vehicle. You get a certain amount of money every time you do 2 or 3 transactions. Make sure that you take the money, put it in your car, and lock it. Just keep minimal change on you at all times.
Yeah, for the most part, we try to stay as cashless as possible. So we try to use our Square. That way people can now they can just tap and pay. They actually can tap on your phone. That's Android or iPhone.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to have the actual Square terminal to take tap and pay, which is really easy. We also have Cash App and Venmo and PayPal. Normally, I will print out a PayPal QR code and a Venmo QR code and my Cash App QR code. And then we print that out, we put it in a clear frame, and we have that on our table. That way people can just scan it and directly go to us and pay. That works so much better than having a lot of cash. But the other thing too is to make sure you have the right amount of change. So make sure you have quite a few small bills so you don't have to keep reaching in and putting your big bills. So keep your big bills in one section and keep your small bills in another section.
Well, just make sure you have change. You need all bills. Make sure you get your 20s, your 10s, the 5s, and definitely a bunch of 1s. But again, as cashless as possible. But we want to take cash, but you want to make sure again that when you get a certain amount, be mindful when you get a certain amount, make sure you secure it and just get it off your persons.
Yeah. Tip number 4 is going to be establish clear boundaries. So this is setting boundaries around your area so people know like where they should approach you from. I think a lot of times we'll set up 3 tables kind of maybe in a U shape, and then put our car, which has the rest of our baskets or our U-Haul truck, and back it into that space. So only we have access to the back of the U-Haul truck.
Yeah.
and we kind of boxed in, and then that way people can't approach us from the rear. We can kind of see, and then we always have one person is inside the little box that we make, and one person is standing on the outside of the box. That's why it's so good to have a second person with you.
Yeah. So I highly recommend that. Again, you do want to make sure that there's limited access between the customer and your actual, where you're standing. So your table should be the barrier, so to speak, between you and the customer.
Also, trust your instincts. If someone or something feels off, trust that, and try to stay as safe as possible, and go with your gut. Let's see. Tip number 5, have an emergency plan in place. So whether you have an Android phone or an iPhone, you can drop your location, turn on your location, and I think make sure everyone, all your friends and family, know exactly where you are at all times.
Yeah, and the wise thing is to have people come through that if you got to be out there by yourself, and I know unfortunately a lot of the basket makers, ladies, in particular, you got to be out there by yourself. You don't want anything happening. It's just a deterrent for people that's doing foolish things, that if they know that somebody's sitting with you, have that presence there. Even if that person only can sit with you for 2 or 3 minutes at a time, have people come through that sit with you, and that presence of somebody else is a big deterrent.
I think also knowing exactly where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So in case of an emergency and you needed to tell the police or a friend or a family member, like, hey, I'm exactly here, know the address. I mean, yes, we are selling on the street, but know your landmarks, what's the cross streets, the corner you're on, between this street and that street. I think knowing exactly where you are just helps in a case of emergency.
Yeah, and have that person to check on you. That's vital. And I'm going to say this once again. You saw the video. Ladies, unfortunately, you're vulnerable if you're out there by yourself. None of this stuff we're doing is worth you being hurt or robbed or traumatized. So just make sure you got some help, another person's presence.
Yeah. Tip number 6, trust your gut and stay calm. If you feel uncomfortable, remove yourself from the situation. Take your baskets off the table. We actually purchased tablecloths that cover the entire table and the front of it. It's the stretch tablecloths. You get them for $10 on Amazon. I will actually link the description. I will actually link the product in the description box below, so you can have a link to the tablecloths. They cover 6-foot tables and they stretch. So we'll put some baskets underneath the table, especially because we have duplicates. We never put all of the baskets we have out at one time. We put a decent selection. You choose from that, and then we replenish as we go. We're going to keep our baskets somewhere in a more secure location. Okay,
and again, this video is not to scare anybody. We want to be safe and we want to be aware. I think this video is very necessary. Safety is the number one priority. I mean, if you can't go home safe, or if you can't keep the money that you're making, then it's just not worth it. We're putting this video out here because fill our hearts. We want to make sure that you put that in the forefront of your mind, that you got to make sure that your safety is more important than any money you're going to make.
And there you have it, guys. Those are some essential tips for staying safe, selling gift baskets on the street. Remember, safety should always be your top priority. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share this video with another basket maker you know. Leave a comment below if you've had any scary or crazy run-ins, any tips that you can give for other basket makers that could possibly be watching our channel, and then read the comments so you can, we'd love to hear all the tips that you have from your experience selling on the streets. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you in the next video.
Goodbye.
Okay.